Hey, welcome to our daily edition of Friend of God. We're taking this directly from our new book called Friend of God, Letting Jesus Say Who You Really Are, because we really believe that when you learn how Jesus defines you, it changes how you define you. You are not the sum of your mistakes and victories. You are who Jesus says you are. You are the one He loves. Thus, you are a friend of God. And in this incredible journey through the writings of John, we see John telling us over and over again, this is what it looks like to be loved by Jesus. And so through 40 days, we're going to take a look at what Jesus is showing to John, and thus John is showing to us. That John comes to the conclusion that I am the one that Jesus loves, and thus we can come to that same conclusion. So, every day, we're going to take one of these chapters and give you just a very quick thing to think about and pray about for that day. And so here is today's episode. Day 9, Friend of God. Hope you got a chance to read this particular chapter or listen to it on Audible. I'll never forget my first trips to Israel, going out to the caves near Bethlehem where the shepherds would keep their sheep during the night and certainly during a storm. Hearing them talk about how they would take the sheep into a cave, and it would be several different flocks that would go in there, all being guarded by a few different shepherds at the mouth of the cave. And then when the storm was done, each shepherd, one by one, would call out their flock to come and follow him. And amazingly, even though the sheep had intermingled by this point, they all followed their particular shepherd, because sheep know their shepherd. So when Jesus starts talking about terms like, I am the gate for the sheep, or I am the good shepherd that lays down my life, my sheep listen to my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Well, guess what? Everybody listening to Jesus at that moment would have known exactly what he was talking about, because they knew shepherds and they knew sheep. The same thing is true for us. When you and I get close enough to Jesus to hear his voice, and Jesus does not speak over the noise in our life, but we allow ourselves a time, not just a quiet time, not just a devotional time, but just moments throughout the day to surrender ourselves to him. He has a way of speaking to us. So here's our questions to ponder after our reading today. Do I know his voice when it whispers to my spirit? Jesus' voice will never contradict his words. Jesus' voice will never bring about condemnation upon yourself, only conviction. And Jesus' voice will always do things to draw attention to the Father or the Spirit, and not necessarily yourself. So with that in mind, what if we prayed this prayer today? Jesus, may I hear your voice today. Jesus, may I hear your voice today. Well, that's day 9. We'll be back tomorrow with day 10. Well, I hope that was helpful for you today. Take that with you throughout the remainder of your day. We'll be back tomorrow with another daily edition. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll be back tomorrow with another daily edition of Friend of God.